Hello, my name is Esmeralda Montenegro, and I'm here to speak to you all today about child beauty pageants. So on the screen, I have a picture of three lovely young ladies. Now this picture might be controversial for some. Some people might think that they look very beautiful and that they're having fun, while others might think this is wrong and inappropriate. Which brings me to my point that beauty pageants have always been controversial. And then my question is, should children be in beauty pageants? Now before we dive into that question, I just want to give you all a brief history on beauty pageants. Beauty pageants have been dated back all the way to ancient Greece. But when we fast forward in time, the United States has always had a tradition of selecting women to be symbols of bounty and community ideals. And that continued as young, beautiful women participated in public celebrations. We've had decades of women parading themselves, being judged on their beauty, which once again has always been controversial. Now, beauty pageants do have benefits to them, and I'm going to explain to you some of those benefits. So some of the benefits of beauty pageants are that it builds better self-esteem. These young ladies get to dress up in beautiful gowns and beautiful outfits and feel really confident in themselves. It also helps develop social skills. These young women, little girls, get to mingle with people from different backgrounds, as well as learning presentation and public speaking skills, while of course is building their self-esteem as well. And of course it creates discipline because they're working towards a goal, and most of them need to learn a talent or a skill to present while they are in the pageants. Now, even though there are benefits to this leads me back to my question. Are pageants really appropriate for our children? This quote in this picture says that pageants are a good platform for children to showcase their talents, but it also risks unnecessary exposure. So, even though there are benefits to these beauty pageants, should these children really be in these pageants? The fact of the matter is that these children should not be in beauty pageants. And I'm going to discuss to you all about how the beauty pageants have a negative effect on these young girls. The first negative effect is that it affects their mental health. The pageant world creates this unrealistic view of beauty. And in Toddlers and Tiaras, which is a show on TLC that is just about beauty pageant girls and their mothers, that show reinforces negative female self-image that can lead to eating disorders later on down the road to try to achieve this look that is needed, the Barbie doll look. And it of course has a negative effect on their self-esteem and their self-worth. These young girls are now valuing their beauty with success instead of the talents that they have and what they can do to be successful. It also makes them feel as if they might not be good enough when they don't win. These young girls get put in makeup, these outfits, they get tanning, fake hair, fake nails, and some parents even go to the extent of putting Botox in their children's face just to get that look that they're looking for. So of course, always changing your look to try to reach a standard is going to have a negative effect on your mental health. And of course, that some of these children do not even choose to be in these pageants, and that they're actually living out their mother's dream. Some mothers even put their children in beauty pageants as early as a year old. So in my next picture, I have this young lady that has hair extensions and fake eyelashes, fake teeth, and caked up makeup. And then we also have this mother in the corner that's saying, oh my gosh, we're gonna dye your hair, we're gonna put you on a diet, get you all dolled up, and you're gonna be perfect. And if you really look at this young lady, her thoughts are, will perfection really make me perfect? She does not look happy. And those are thoughts that actually go through young ladies' minds all the time, especially in the beauty pageant world. Now behind me, I have a picture of a brain. And in this brain are different reasons why someone could have a mental health issue or ways that help them deal with mental health. Now, as a young lady growing up, I had my own self-image issues as well. The media has always presented this look to achieve, to feel beautiful, the standard of beauty, which really affected my mental health when I was little. And carrying that mental pain with me throughout my teens and my adult life really caused a lot of harm to myself, mentally and physically. Until I finally grew out of that and was able to love myself and see the beauty within. Which brings me back to my point that mental health is a huge issue in pageants because we're putting these thoughts in these children at a very young age. And it's not fair for them to feel as if they are not beautiful just because they don't fit this standard of beauty, this Barbie doll look. Perfection is a disease of the nation. Many mental health experts agree that participating in activities that primarily focus on physical appearance is going to influence negative self-thoughts in adolescence as well as into adulthood. Issues of self-identity from children after they retire from the pageant world is not uncommon, and struggling with perfection, dieting, eating disorders, and body image is very common as well. These negative effects go on long term into adulthood. The National Library of Medicine shows a study of self-image, dieting, as well as self-confidence of 131 pageant contestants. And what that study showed is that 46% of those women that averaged the age of 26 years old wanted to be thinner. That 56% of those women wanted to lose weight. And the women with the highest self-esteems were the ones that had different levels of competition, not of how often they competed. Women that had the highest self-esteem were women that started from a local level, then competed nationally, and possibly internationally. So the fact that reaching these levels had an influence on their self-esteem and how they looked at themselves is a clear indication that these pageants do have a negative effect on the way we look at the way that women look at themselves. There are ways that we can change and get rid of these pageants. We can start petitions. We can also look for petitions on change.org. We can create laws against these competitions and put an age limit on them, as well as encouraging others to just not participate in these beauty pageants. An example in a different country, France Senate votes to ban child beauty pageants in 2013. There was the lawmaker, the conservative lawmaker Chantal Jouanneau, that makes this statement in NBC News in an article. It says, "When I asked the organizer why there were no mini boy contests, I heard him respond that boys wouldn't lower themselves like that." So if it's okay for boys not to lower themselves to that standard, why is it okay for these young girls to sexualize themselves to this extent? Beauty pageants do have benefits to them. They build self-esteem, you learn social skills, as well as learn discipline. But then also, as we saw, it builds lots of negativity as well that gets carried on into their adolescence and their adulthood. Children should not be in beauty pageants to protect their mental health and also learn that beauty is not the standard to success. I hope you all learned a lot in my presentation, and you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for listening.